Hey guys, it's Derek Z. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to correct your forward head posture. Are you somebody that sits a lot? Are you somebody that works in front of a computer? And when you work in front of a computer, do you start off like this and then you end up like this after a few hours or even just about an hour or so? If that's you, then this is a video that will help you out. So with sitting, it puts us in a position because of gravity of what we call a forward head posture. And the forward head posture is where the head kind of deviates forward in line with the shoulder. The shoulders end up rounding usually forward, and then the back also rounds a little bit. And that puts us in a position where the muscles are stretched and there's muscles that are weak. So usually for the muscles that need to be stretched because it's tight, it's usually the upper trap and your levator scap along with your pecs in the front. And then the muscles that are weak are your lower traps, your rhomboids, your mid trap, along with your deep neck flexors. So if you stretch the muscles that are tight and you strengthen the muscles that are weak, that should help you with your forward head posture because those are all the restrictions that put you into that position. So I'm going to break the exercises apart in terms of two categories, one for stretching and another one for strengthening. So the muscles we're trying to stretch is the upper trap, the levator scap, and your pecs. So the upper trap exercise is pretty straightforward. They live off the top of your shoulder blade and then they go up and attach onto the bottom of your skull. So all you got to do is sit up straight and then tilt your head one way. So then you can feel a stretch on that side. What you can do is use the one hand to hold the head down, and as you press down, and then you can use the other hand to reach down towards the bottom. So then that way you can get the maximum amount of stretch. I usually have my folks hold this for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then you repeat it on the other side. Next exercise we're looking at is called the levator scap stretch. This is a muscle you want to stretch because it gets tight along with the upper trap. So to stretch this out, it's pretty straightforward. You basically turn your head to one way and then tilt your nose down and then grab the top of your head and almost bring your nose towards your armpit. So if you're doing this correctly, it almost looks like you're trying to smell your armpit. You hold it there for about 30 to 60 seconds. On the opposite arm though, while you're holding that there, reach down. So when you reach down, you're actually creating an extra stretch, and you should be able to feel this because now you're depressing the scapula. So the levator scapula, based off of its name, it's supposed to elevate the scapula. So if you're reaching down with the opposite arm, then it actually depresses the scapula, which then elongates the muscle itself. We need to stretch out the pecs next because that's one of the other muscles that gets tight with rounded shoulders. So this is another easy exercise to do. All you need is a doorway. Make sure your arms are locked and over above 90 degrees. And then you just put your arm there where the door frame is and then step forward, making sure that you keep your core tight and not arch your back. You don't really want your back to be arched when you're doing this. So once you get to the point where you feel stretched, the stretch you feel should be in the front of your chest. Get to that point, hold it there for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then you can repeat as needed. Now we move on to some strengthening exercises, starting with the deep neck flexors. So a nice way to strengthen deep neck flexors is actually laying on your back. All you got to do is just tuck your chin in and making sure the resting position when you start with, your head's a little bit in extension. So then that way you actually truly activate and engage the deep neck flexors when you're laying on your back by performing that chin tuck. Tuck that chin in, hold it there, and then as you tuck the chin in, lift your head up just about an inch off the table, and so you can feel the tension in the front of your neck. Hold it there for about 10 seconds, and I usually have people do about 10 of those. As I mentioned, the serratus is also a weak muscle because of the position of the forward shoulder. So another nice way to strengthen the serratus anterior is what we call the serratus wall slide. With this one, you need a foam roller or something just to slide off with that mimics the shape of a foam roller. And what you do is You push on to the foam by protracting your shoulder blade onto the foam roller. And when you do that, you apply pressure onto the foam roller and then you roll upward and creating almost like a Y with both your arms, making sure the serratus anterior is engaged because it's an upward rotator and a protractor of the scapula. And when you're coming down, we're also maintaining that pressure on the serratus, on the foam roller. And as you come down, you want to repeat that slow and control. Do that for about 10 times. To activate your lower traps, mid-trap, and rhomboid, which are all the muscles that live by the shoulder blade, a nice exercise that I use for that is the prone W press. So with this exercise, all you got to do is lay on your stomach with your neck in a neutral position. If you don't have a face cutout, all you got to do is get a towel and put it over your forehead, so that way your face is not touching the floor that you're in. And with this, you have your arms out to the side, and then you lift your arms up, squeeze your shoulder blade, almost creating a W with your shoulders and elbow. Make sure your shoulders are not touching the ground or the table when you're doing this, and then you want to go ahead and press up overhead and extend your elbows when you're doing that. Hold it at the top for a little bit. Make sure the thumb is pointed upward the entire time. When you bring it down, the direction of the thumb is still pointed towards the ceiling, and then you just rinse and repeat. I usually just have my folks do this about 10 times. Try these exercises out on a daily. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. That will really help this channel out, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.